fight, the first show, first time we played here at the other cafe. We're very happy to be here and see all of you coming out. How many have ever seen improvisation before in any of its various forms? Please raise your hand. Some of you are not sure, okay? Some of you are raising 2 hands. Very enthusiastic people. How many have seen improvisation but we don't look familiar? The rest of you, okay? And how many don't know why you're here? Hopefully we'll give you an answer by the end of the evening. Because what we're doing tonight is not planned or scripted. We have no idea which kind of show we're going to do tonight, neither do you, but we're going to do our best and usually have a lot of fun. You're very important to us tonight because we need you. I'll just come out and say, we need you. Ted Turner doesn't need you. He just throw on some old movies or a ball game. He doesn't care if you watch. You know, the Giants don't even really need you anymore. You know, but we need you a lot because our shows don't exist without your suggestions and your input. So we're going to ask you to say the first thing that comes to your mind when we give you a category. For instance, I may say, what form of transportation did you use to get down here tonight? And you would scream out, airline! That's right. Okay, well, everybody have a chance to say something because we want to clear up those brain synapses and make sure that you're not like me. So, yes. What is something that gave you nightmares as a kid? Thank you. He's been appointed spokesman for the entire group. Just follow your ideas. And if I said, who was your hero growing up? You would say, that's right, same person, yes. Okay. Just basically the idea is we'll ask you for something you shout out, something we'll take the first suggestion we hear clearly and do something immediately and spontaneously with it. And to start us off right now, I'd like you to think of a theme in your life, something that's not a major problem, like, oh, thank you. That's a major problem. Okay, it's a major problem. It's also going to be something we're going to take a look at right now.
Will you?
Why not?
Why not? I was hoping for something a little more romantic.
Well, that's something you're talking out of. Quick.
And part of the fourth part does hereby assign and agree to all terms contained in the Epistle 6, which is paragraph 28 of section 42. Okay, now we get to the part about not leaving your eyebrow hairs in the sink. What?
I just want to remain for a couple months of summer, okay?
Mom, I don't think you have to clean the oven before your date comes. Well, honey, men at my age have a lot, they're more particular. They look at things. And he's not going to look in the oven, Mom. You're not even cooking for them. He may. I'm not going to be watching him every minute. I don't know where he's going to be checking.
Sorry to say this, but she's not coming back.
Well, good. I was going to give her away, but I'll give you away. The girl's still waiting.
Just watch by the door, okay? Just watch by. I'm going to check the oven and the refrigerator.
All right.
See?
Well, I thought about it. I'll try it. I'll give it a try.
You give it a try.
Yeah, maybe 6 months.
6 months.
6 months. 6 months of monogamy followed by a little bit of openness,
Yeah.
and then maybe some more monogamy.
Well, actually, I was going to marry you and this other guy at the same time.
Can't see. This is the first wedding since I was ordained, so gotta look nice.
You look wonderful here. Reminds me of when we got married. With everywhere standing in the back with you shaking just like this. Remember that?
Think the collar is straight?
Oh, it's very nice.
You know, they wrote their own vows, so I really don't have much to do.
Just like we did, huh, dear? Heard those wonderful warm words you said to me? Said those lately. You haven't said those in the last 9 years.
You want to hear me say, it's great to be in Reno with you again?
Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you very much for joining us. I'm proud to have talks about. That is
Witchcraft.
hair loss. And such an important subject today. Is it not? I mean, a minute. Have you not been frustrated when your sink at home gets blocked? Why? Hair loss. That's why tonight we'll go into some of the lesser known facts and answer some of the questions burning on your lonely mind. Thank you very much. Please, Alyssa Smith, welcome around here. Nice to see you. Thank you.
My pleasure. And let me start right off by saying, your hair is in very good shape.
Thank you. I exercise it daily.
Well, that is a key piece to hair retention, is exercise. And most people think, get outside, run, get in the sun, all of that moving, your corpuscles just coursing through your vein, that doesn't do it. It really is hair exercise. That's the whole secret. How you get your hair to exercise is the tough part, which is why I wrote my book.
Mine tends to
Yes, I can see, especially on this side, right? I notice it's still laying down a little flat. Now, cowlicks are probably your best left. That's where you're going to find, the perky part of your hair. That's the part of your hair that doesn't follow orders. That's the part that's going to really exercise. So you want to get the rest of your hair to pay attention to the cowlicks.
Oh, well, good. Now,
Because how do you do that? Oh, that's what you're asking.
I was about to ask that. How do you do that?
Well, for one thing, you use your comb. Now, when I get up in the morning, I have 4 cowlicks. One here, one here, one here, one here. All right. So you make
That's a
all
terrible hurt, isn't it?
your collar or your cowlicks. Now, what you do is you comb all the rest of your hair right over by the cowlicks so that they can watch real closely. It's kind of like role modeling.
Proximity is important.
That's very important, right? So I comb my hair, I divide it down the middle in 4 parts and comb it all to the cowlicks.
Okay.
Now, I have to do that, of course, on days when I'm going to be home for a while.
You call it.
Well, because it's hair training, and you want to, it takes time. You don't just want to do that and then call it black.
The colleagues would go off on their own and do whatever they wanted to without incorporating the rest of the hair.
The rest of the hair would learn to think. Oh.
Well, that would be normal. Now, suppose you don't have colleagues. Is there a way to
Everybody has cowlicks. It's just a matter of finding them. I have this very special tool that's included in the back of my book. Now, the book is $25.95. That's because it's
Just
so
go
worth it.
ahead, Joe.
Okay.
Okay, fine. All right. You blow that up.
Just a little. Now, what this does is it starts vibrating whenever it gets near a cowlick. Watch.
Is there like a battery in that?
No, it's just very responsive to vibrations of cowlicks.
Oh, that feels quite good, actually.
There's your cowlick right there. So your hair should all go in that. Oh, look at that. You have a receding hairline. How tricky of you to cover it that way.
Yes.
A lot of men have receding hairlines. Look, men, this is a way that you can handle receding hairlines. See, you comb it. My goodness, you have it combed to this. Right from back here. He has it combed all the way up and over. Now, that's a wonderful technique. Now, another thing that you can do is...
Yes, and the colleague part. Go back to it.
Oh, right. Well, you're going to have a little trouble because you have all this extra long hair coming up to the front. So, what we need to do is to trim the cowlick so it sticks up a little. There, just like alfalfa. Isn't that cute? Now, notice the rest of your hair. Careful, careful. It's starting to vibrate and resonate around the cowlick. Look, all of his hair is wanting to pull back and expose that forehead of yours. Hi, look at that.
Yes. However, there are those people who must in life be unfortunate enough not to normally have a colleague.
Everybody has cowlicks. Some people have them down here. I knew a man once who had so much hair on the back of his shoulders, he had 14 cowlicks. Did I have fun with him? We just had that hair on his back moving all over in every direction. We did patterns with checkers on it. It was so great.
Now, let's move on to another exciting chapter, but where you talk about the use of loss theory. You mentioned several ways to take what we normally see as a loss in our day-to-day lives and make it into something positive.
Yes. For one thing, if you put your own hair in your pillow, your dreams are very different. You have these nice long hairs that come way up here. They're great. You can read with those.
What would you say is the most normal and most unusual reason that people lose hair? Yeah. Just put it,
Sure.
What would you say is the most typical reason people lose hair and the most unusual?
Boredom.
Which is that most unusual or the most typical?
Typical. People get bored, their hair gets bored, it wants to leave. You're bored, you want to leave, right? It makes sense.
Does it have any idea of that you would leave it in replacement?
Oh no, what do you think? It's got wings? No. Just leave.
Hair does not think.
No. Did you think it did?
Well, mine. But it doesn't.
You might want to recheck the 13.
The one title.
Properties of hair.
Oh, yes, that was.
Brain isn't mentioned.
I skipped right over there when I saw the chemical performance in the first channel, or the first paragraph there. And the most unusual.
Probably it would be, doing dangerous things. I've noticed a real propensity
My
in...
uncle Jake lost the whole right side when he was fixing the lawnmower and it took off.
Bungee jumpers. We're seeing a lot of baldness in bungee jumpers. New trend.
And based on bungee jumping, let's jump on to the next subject because once again, you get to name the subject. Yes, in this talk show, we talk to you because we talk about you and your subject. That subject is? Tomatoes. Of course, something red to continue the show. Without further ado, Hank Smurd, please, Hank. Please welcome him.
Pleasure. Do I get a chair closer there?
Go for it. Look, I understand that you know vegetables in general, but then I hope that's not a tomato back there.
Well, I'm sorry. It was. I was bringing you a sample, but I forgot about it before I sat down. And it's, well, now you can pretend it's one of them expensive sun-dried tomatoes. Here you go. That's the plan. Something you want to have as a snack with a brain hole there.
Might want to just put some of those hairs together. Now, I understand you're an expert on all vegetables in general, but a specialist with a PhD in tomatoes. Is that accurate?
Yes, that's very accurate. I majored in fiber when I was in college. Vegetable fiber.
And growing industry, as I understand. Wasn't a joke, Hank. It was just a comment on the expanding climate of interest in the way vegetables can help our nutritious and health-conscious world.
Well, I apologize for keeping that dirty liquid. You'd be surprised how many bad puns a fellow like me in overalls runs into when he shows up on a TV show.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. I was on with that Regis and Kathy, what's her name? Oh, they just kept making fun of me for about 8 minutes, the whole segment. They were just throwing out broccoli jokes and tomato jokes. I had to leave. I had to walk off. I walked off the show.
Were they getting laughs?
Well, yes, they were. That's why it's
Stop
not.
repeating now.
Vegetables are a serious topic, especially the tomato. You go until about the middle 1800s, tomatoes considered poisonous. People would not eat them.
How did they know the point was?
Well, I don't know. How do they figure out how many angels can dance on the head of a pin? I'm into vegetables here, Keith. I'm not into theology.
Okay. Well, tell us a little bit about how the tomato was discovered, how it's been hybridized over the years, and why it's an important part of the vegetable market we know.
I'll put that on a note card and try to refer to those points in my summation. Thank you. Actually, the tomato was discovered by the Spanish conquistadores when they first arrived on the Quetzalán Peninsula, which is no longer there, actually. It fell off in an earthquake in the year 1626, but it used to kind of stick out from Mexico like a big hitchhiking thumb going up to Texas. And it was the perfect climate for tomatoes, and actually the conquistadors found this entire peninsula overrun with lush growths of tomato plants that were about 28 feet high. So they just saw the top of the ziggurats peeking out behind the tomato plants. And actually, these were vegetarian Aztec Indians who had given up the human sacrifice. And what they would do is they would take the human sacrificial victim and they'd put him up there, and the priest would bake it and pull a tomato out of his chest. And then the victim would pay him a bunch of money and he would move to another village, so nobody ever got wise. And those Indians actually had a great industry with tomatoes. They used to make sandal soles. They would put them out in the sun and dry them. And not unlike the sun-dried tomatoes you buy today, the flavor is quite similar, especially the sandal sole flavor. And, well, they just had a booming industry. In fact, they were never conquered by any of the warring Aztec tribes when the Great Schism of the Aztec nation occurred shortly before the fall of the Aztec nation. And they felt that they were attacking enemies with tomatoes, and the enemies thought they were being bombarded with human hearts. Again, the Aztec sacrifice, and they thought that they were being bombarded with bloody human hearts, and they ran away fleeing in terror, selling their loincloths.
I would have guessed that most of the audience were really looking up what was new information about how they've been hybridized since then. I mean, everybody knows the origin.
Well, all right, now there is some exciting new things, of course, with genetic engineering and gene research. You'll find all new uses for tomatoes. They've developed a seedless tomato that never spoils, and the skin has the consistency of fine Corinthian leather. Now, these tomatoes, when grown in the beef stick variety, can be made into handbags and small accessory touches. The only thing we haven't been able to do is get them any color than red.
That would be limiting in some.
Yes, and you'll be able to order those from the, I believe, the Neiman Marcus Christmas catalog this year, as well as I think there are going to be some genetically engineered pets in there. But another tomato innovation they've come up with is they have a car who's actually a large tomato. And it's like a Cinderella pumpkin thing. The carriage, and only it didn't have this car, does not do anything, it just stays a tomato. And so if you hit somebody, there's messy, but then, you just like growing up, you go back in your yard and stick the wheels on and, put the upholstery in it, and you've got another tomato car. And the street sweeper comes by and cleans up the mess. There's no glass all over. Nobody gets hurt because it's energy absorbing. And you don't need an airbag because, of course, in the tomato mobile, big tomato comes out of the steering wheel, and you go right in the tomato, and you get the seeds and everything all over the place. But it does save your life.
That's absolutely fascinating, and I'm sure that raises a few questions, does it not? I think that's one of those jokers from the Kathy show, but...
Well, that was part of the original schism in the ancient Aztec tribes, because the glyphs for tomato could have been interpreted two separate ways, and of course in our modern translation, some of those interpretations do contain a single solitary E at the end of the word. So it depends really on what school of archaeological interpretation you prefer to cleave to.
Another question.
What about cannibals?
Well, I think
cannibal soup or...
No, cannibalism, eating other human beings.
well, I would refer to tomato cannibalism because there is a variety of tomato that actually uproots itself and crawls through the garden, slaughtering and eating the tomatoes that are competing with it for the sunshine and nutrients. This, of course, is what the movie Killer Tomatoes was based on, although they didn't play kind of fast and loose with the actual botanical facts. Well, there has been a move. In fact, I believe there's an important study being done where a colony of vampire bats has been trained to only attack tomatoes. And so they're hoping that in cases like a repeat of, say, the Donner Party or the soccer player during a plane crash, they had tomatoes on board. You see, they wouldn't be gnawing on each other. So I think that from now on, the stores will say your seat cushion can be used as a flotation device in case of an emergency landing. A tomato will drop down from the overhead. If you're traveling with a small child, please place a tomato in your mouth before assisting the child. And that's how it works.
With those words of safety advice to cling to through the moments of fear that fill our lives, we have to thank our guests for today.
I think you notice that things are changing much more rapidly these days than they ever used to. When we were kids, it seemed like things last a long time, and now things just change. Turn around one day, it's like, what happened to Milkman? I mean, what happened to rotary telephone? What happened to casual sex? All these things are they're not here anymore, and you get wishing that they were still around. So what is something that you can think of that you might feel nostalgic about?
Cash register ring.
Say again?
Cash register ring.
Cash register ringing. Thank you very much. We now actually take you to the bar outside a high school reunion.
I'm sorry, I get you everything you want.
Well, Jerry, it's just that every other graduate is here in a new dress. Every other person we went to school
a shout out. Emotions, and when you hear me repeat them back, it means I heard yours and I've actually written it down. So just give me a whole bunch of emotions. Jealousy. Whoops.
Incompetence.
It is for Doug. What's more? Just shout them out.
It's a way of life.
Lust.
Lust, thank you.
God bless you.
Is it incompetence or incompetence? Just more emotions. Everybody yell out. Fear? Fear. Everybody, don't wait for me. Envy. Envy.
Torpor.
Torpor. Isn't that a state of being? It's an emotion now.
Greed.
Greed. Thank you. Joy. Joy.
Hate.
Hate. Anger. But in the back?
Disappointment.
This. Frustration. That's what I was going to say. Right, disappointment. Frustration.
Sympathetic.
Satisfaction and sympathy. Confusion.
Say it loud.
Here.
Joy.
Joy. I have joy. Thank you.
Yell it
I was
out.
definitely joyful. Ecstasy. What was that?
Slothful.
Pain. Anxiety. Boredom. I comment on this part of the show. Thank you. Anxiety.
Just side effects.
Any more? Any last entries before we close the gates here?
Slothful.
Slothful. That's a dice game for grabbing with your kids. Slothful. Okay, I have this slate chock full of emotions that only I can read.
Sorry, I didn't hear.
So, I would like, how about a topic that you always wished you knew more about?
Witchcraft.
Witchcraft. Thank you. Today we have world-renowned lecturer on witchcraft, Stacy White Magic.
Witchcraft, myth or reality? Witchcraft is something that I've been studying all my life. My mother was a witch. My grandmother was a witch.
Envy.
They were better witches than I am. In fact, my grandmother was the best witch in the neighborhood. I never could get as good as my grandmother.
Fear.
I've tried. I have done things that would make your hair turn gray. It's not been a pretty sight. The things that I've tried to do to top my grandmother.
Joy.
I did this morning. I actually levitated myself. And I did it all through mind power and aligning myself with the universe. It was this cosmic experience that I lifted only an inch. It was a start. I said, this is a start. Don't be disappointed. Relax into this. You'll get maybe further next time. I felt
I want you all people to know that there's been some cutbacks in the Ku Klux Klan this year.
I'm sorry to inform you all that the captain has said this will be a very rough flight. Better up!
Mom, it's such a plain puppet.
Who says nothing ever comes out of the space program? This is a colostomy bag if you're going to Mars.
I'm sorry, Mr. Apple, but you have to give us another little thing.
Other man, I leave these two alone. In the morning I'll have thousands.
You, Vermonto, bedroom slippers, floor box.
I know a lot of people don't believe in space objects, but I got a real one here.
Arr! Long John Silver, politically correct. It's recyclable. Arr!
So what do you think, doctor? Can you help me?
Well, I'm gonna have to go to his office.
They're almost all better.
Thank you. Good evening, Emeryville Francophile Club. I'm so glad you could all come tonight. As you might have seen in your programs, we have a very famous French ballad singer and songwriter. I met him last summer in Paris, and at the time I told him about our club, and he agreed to come visit us on his next tour of the United States. Would you please welcome Jean-Max Fouton? Jean-Max will be singing his newest ballad for us tonight, and for those of you who are still in French 1, I will be translating. What is the title of his ballad?
Ode to a Caltrans.
Ode to a Caltrans station. Thank you. Mortuary science. We have the expert on mortuary science. And another topic. Sex, and what about sex? Okay, the basics of sex. All right. And something totally unrelated to either of those two. Toe jam. Toe jam. Expert on toe jam here tonight. And a fourth topic. Artichokes. Lucky for you, an artichoke expert. So experts, you will be lecturing to us on
Toe jam.
Mortuary sciences.
basic six.
Artichokes.
There's
Oral history, science, jumping, and
This area is particularly good for growing. In fact, you can drive up and down the coast and see large fields of it. A crop that's easily cultured and easily grown and so on.
Akin to the moist fungus you see when you're in the forest, because when you go down there and you take off your socks after a rough day, you maybe sit in this little chair all day under a dark desk, it's like a little thing which is growing, sort of multiplying its mass, like friendship.
And like mommy and daddy, when they love each other, they go in bed and turn out the lights. And then you're born. Now, what else I can tell you about that is not much, because it's a very, very secret thing. And you'll have to learn
to die in your own time. Because death comes to everyone. That's why we're here. You know how to make you look better than you ever looked in life. You drain all the fluids from your body. And then
Cut the little spines off the tips of the leaves. Which allows them to be cooked without harming you and also makes it easier to eat them. In fact, if you're able
to see the puppies, they come out right under the mommy doggy's tail, because that's where they were hiding before they were born. Now the same.
It was often true the prisoners in the Bastille, they would cook up a batch of this with, they would scrape some sulfur off the walls, so they would cook it in their hand, like a flame under their hand, and they would take turns.
cooling down the body with ice, which happens a lot if you die in a road accident. We can't get there right away, so we do the next best thing. We get a good humor.
Man, to come and show you about how to put it on correctly, because sometimes you don't want to have babies, and so you have to do things so you can have them. And Mrs. Henkin,
go to full bloom, allowing it to pass as an actual fruit animal, but allow it to mature.
In a certain way, these ethnic groups they have an incredible differentiation of the toe jam, which is
like foreplay. Now, doesn't involve more people like you might think.
It involves formaldehyde, which is a totally different thing. And once you have formaldehyde, you'll never
Serve it with butter or mayonnaise. It really doesn't go that well, and it disguises.
Is it sound like a cigarette after you have basic sex? Now that used to be.
the fashion, because sometimes, in Spain, they would take it
and prop you up in a chair before they bury you. We can do that. We can have you reading a book. We can have you petting.
In the backyard. Because that's an easy place to grow them for those of you.
Who don't know the concepts of over and under, on top, through, and
even the sprouts in peanut bread, you can have it. It's such a delicacy in the third world countries. Like, in fact,
They pickled you with brine in ancient Egypt, and they put you in a jar, and at that point, the relatives would come and you would go on the river Styx into the afterlife, where there was some low-cost condominiums.
Remember, as odd as it looks, it's a delicacy here on the coast.
it could be the solution to the royal hunger crisis, toe jam.
basically sex is very basic.
Mortuary arts, death is alive.
A location. May I have a location?
Paris.
Paris. Where in Paris?
A specific
A specific
perhaps.
place in Paris.
Basically, I will count.
The
base
base
of the
Eiffel Tower.
Did you hear something like that?
You want to describe what this is?
This is a scene in which we will alternate through the alphabet, beginning each of our lines with A, B, C, D, E, F, and O, X, D, F. We use all 28 of the lines.
G.
26.
If we come to you because we can't think of a word that begins with our letter, feel free to shout me out.
Almost entirely free of any decay or oxidization.
Boy, it's high.
Can you believe it's been here that many years and is still in this good a shape?
Don't get technical on me, Carl.
Expertise of this nature is not even available to the common construction team today.
For once in your life, just enjoy something.
Gladys, look at the crystalline nature of this.
How can you stand to bring your work on a vacation?
Interests of mine that never escape me at any time in my life.
Jeez.
Knowledge is a pursuit that man has chased for ever, and I am proud to be a part of its continuing song.
Look, Bridget Bardot!
There's a lot of these chairs.
Oh, we're up to that kind of stuff, huh?
Perhaps. Really?
Not really. Surely, you would not like to see me embarrassed here in front of these Parisians on the floor.
Teach me to love it.
Understand, I mean, that this is a profession, an academic love of mine, an understanding that is more important to me than almost.
Very true.
Well, would you like to know?
Xenophobia prevents me. Zounds, all right, I'll look.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Roger. I'm a large one. I'm here.
And I'm Gene, and I'm ostensibly the thin one.
And welcome to Sneaking Into the Movies, where we're going to take a look at some films. A lot of film critique shows show you the movies that are coming out. We're showing you movies that have not been made yet. So what's up for our first movie tonight, Gene?
Well, for our first movie, we have that great story of troubled youth entitled...
It hasn't been made yet, so you're the ones that know.
It's entitled Bad Boys, is it right? It's entitled Bad Boys, and I especially like the hidden references to Eisenstein's 39 Steps that we're going to see in this next clip. See if you can spot it, it takes an astute eye.
Hey, baby. I saw you last night. Tough outfit. It was bad. What's the dude?
Well, I think any film viewer can see what I mean by the reference to Eisenstein's 39 Steps.
I think it's unfortunate, though, that they chose Brian De Palma to direct this American version of it, because first of all, you notice there are only 38 steps.
Well, I would have to say you've caught me on the 38 Steps. However, I feel that the mise-en-scene and the denouement, which occur in this pretty clip of the song, are indicative, actually, of the entire negativistic tone of the movie, which I think adds a real nod to Wim Wenders' recent film Wings of Design.
It's just that snotty actress why I don't invite you over anymore.
You brought the popcorn last time, that's why I come over here.
I think we should stick with film references.
All right.
I think that basically this film didn't have that much piece of junk. Well, this one is going to be coming out on Laserdisc pretty soon. It's an ode to something that we all love very much. It's an ode to baseball, exactly.
Oh, geez, not another Poison Summer picture, not another National, not another major league, not another league of their own. Right? Isn't the summer been chock full of baseball?
This is different. This is baseball among the Bushmen in Australia. Very interesting. As you can see, it's a silent movie. Which is why Laserdisc is so important, because you have to have a good picture if there's no sound.
Well, I have to admit, I found this film titled "The Gods Must Be Designated Hitters" to be a heartrending study in the plight of the Australian bushman as he fights against the approaching civilization of the white man.
Yes, and I thought making the didgeridoo manufacturer the big business heavy, I thought was a little cliche, but as I said, I like the soundtrack.
And of course, a star turn by young music video director Douglas Cooley as the young fan in the background.
Yes, he's actually gone on to do John Mellencamp's next video.
And you wrote the script for that video, didn't you?
Well, under an assumed name. Yes.
Okay.
I gotta make a buck somehow.
All right. All your scripts seem to have women and other things in them.
Well, it's a theme, you know. I like to have a point of view.
Speaking of point of views, this next film we're about to review has a very unique point of view. Whose point of view is it? Barbara Bush. Barbara Bush's point of view. That's right. In this next film called "She Wore a Pearl Necklace." We'll see it later.
Oh, Millie, my Millie, I love my little doggy so. I let her and run all around, and then I clean up her stuff on the ground.
Well, I think that's about enough of that.
I hope that Christy McNichol and Rosanna Arquette will never work again. Especially that together. This is the worst movie I've seen since the Pirate movie. Remember that? With Christy McNichol doing Gilbert and Sullivan.
And I think the kid from Return to Blue Lagoon as Billy was inspired casting.
They take the story of the first lady of the country and turn it into a teenage exploitation movie. I think it's tragic.
Well, I think perhaps if fans left the theater before Barbara's shower scene, it would probably be okay.
But that's only on the unrated video version.
That's
You won't
right.
see that in the theaters. Hopefully you won't see this at all in the theaters, because if it's good thing communism is dead, because I don't think we should be exporting this kind of thing over to other countries.
Actually, the filmmakers have a lawsuit by the Jack Valenti and the ratings board right now because the ratings board wants to give it a T for totally tasteless, which is actually worse than an X in some suburbs of New York and low-lying areas in San Francisco.
But then they realized that they did that, that half the output of Hollywood would be under this rating, so there'd be nothing else.
So this is a landmark case, and most of Hollywood is waiting for the decision that made it correct.
And so are we. So we're going to wait till next week. We'll see you again next week at Sneaking Into the Movies.
Okay, bye.
How many of you watch the Oscars? When we were working with Dan right here, who's our keyboardist, and Michael Woods is our guitar player. We were working with Dan one night, and it suddenly hit us, sort of as a group inspiration, that every song that wins the Oscar each year is really the same song. And so we asked Dan if he could come up with a generic Oscar song, which he did, and which we would like to sing for you now. What I need from you first is, let's see, a phrase you might hear in a relationship. Leave me alone. Leave me alone. May I have the envelope, please? Tonight's Oscar-winning song is Leave Me Alone, sung by Sue and Doug. storms. And so I've gotten real acquainted with this one neighborhood park, Lafayette Park. There's another little hidden treasure parks in San Francisco Reservoir where we used to stay also. And I go up there when it's like the phones are driving me crazy and I just need to get away and I want it to be peaceful and I just kind of like get in tune with nature and people watch. One of my favorite things to do is great character research. So, Linda, I want to take you into Lafayette Park with me and as we go there, would you please, somebody from over here, would you name something that makes you really nervous, some kind of activity or object or something? The wind. Okay, great. And somebody over here, would you give me something you spend a lot of money on lately? The leather jacket, the wind and leather jacket. Come on to Lafayette Park. Have you ever noticed how everybody today is wearing leather jackets? I mean, you walk down the street, every other person in a leather jacket. Every other person. Do you know how many dead animals that means? I mean, they're in all the magazines, they're in all the stores, not just jackets, you know? I mean, do you think they just shear the animal to get the leather? No.
Doesn't mean.
It might be your leather jacket. I mean, some of them are so fresh off the cow.
I'm sorry, that one was me, but it's you.
You know, why don't they make human jackets? Why don't they make people jackets? How about they like that, huh? See everybody walking down the street in a little flesh-colored jacket?
Everyone complains. You know that it's a human activity that everyone does at some time in their life, but breaking wind is a funny, disgusting thing to whoever didn't do it at the moment.
Do you know they're making jackets out of mice now? Do you know how many mice you need just for the collar?
Do you realize what would happen if you didn't break wind? There are people who would float away and never be seen again. They might never come back to their original size.
I saw a leather jacket the other day. Kangaroo. Kangaroo! It had 2 pockets.
I will never be caught in that dilemma, for I have vowed never to hold on to that which I do not need, and this category of wind falls under that general declaration.
Well, we don't need it either. Just like nobody needs leather jackets. They can be perfectly warm and it's a lot jacket.
Oh yeah, well the wind is in any other sense, is a very honored thing. They call the wind Mariah, you know.
Not your wind. Not only that, they sell leather bookmarks, leather earrings, leather pants, leather underwear.
Would you like some baked beans?
Can you imagine what it feels like to wear leather underwear in the summer? Oh, I tell you, you don't
Oh, I
need
can just imagine the noise I would make with leather underwear. A veritable trumpeting sound, announcing my pleasure and comfort. All in one large, roaring, thunder-like sound coming out of me.
makes you really, really, really pissed off at the time that it happens, but then maybe the next day you sort of think about it and think, well, you know, I don't think I need to get quite that. What's that for you?
Parking ticket.
Parking tickets, thank you. I drove hours and hours in my little white car. I knew a parked space could be far, and I went around and around the same block, and I looked at my wristwatch, looked at the clock. It must have been 9 minutes or so. I thought about double parking, getting a tow. Who knows what the chances of finding a space might be? If I sat on my face and thought about it once or twice or 3, 4 times, I might find myself in a line. When you see a guy pulling out 3, 4 cars, start getting into parking space wars. Shaking his fist in your face, Christian pulling into his parking space. And ladies, they sit right in behind you, give you a smile, and then they remind you, hey, I just got a parking space, and the dude's got a bad, bad look on his face. But I snuck right into his little spot, and I snuck on into the parking slot. And when he looks at me and I give him a wink, well, he has a little time, but he doesn't think. When I took his space and I smiled on my face, he goes away in a state of praise. Now, if you get a ticket on your car, do what I do. Just go to a bar, and when the waitress comes by with the check, take your ticket. Hey, what the heck? Then write your MasterCard right down on it, slip it under your drink. She'll never know the difference. You take your pocket tickets all around, leave them on other people's windows in this town. Some people might pay them for you. You know it's true. It happened to me. It could happen to you. You know I had a motorcycle, thought I was home free, up on the sidewalk. It's where I would be with 2 wheels, man, not a big old 4. I thought parking spaces were the thing of yours, so I rode my bike to the sidewalk free, and I parked my cycle where it ought to be, right next to a meter, put no money in, and I walked away, not listening to the din of honking and shouting over parking spaces. Went to my favorite shopping places. When I got back, looked in my eyes, see, I saw a parking ticket. It was waiting for me. It tucked right there on the little side seat, and I thought it wasn't cool, man. I thought it wasn't neat. I thought I had that bad parking thing beat when I pulled my bike up off the main street. But you know, I pulled the ticket and I looked real close. Man, what I saw, it gave me a dose of anger in my head and anger in my brain, because the mate on the ticket and my bike were the same. Some other joker had taken that slip, thought he'd get out of paying this trip, and he stuck it on my bike just like a kite. He went to the store and bought himself a bike. Now I was mad, I tell you, I was hot. I just got back from my shopping. I had my presents and packages. You see, gonna put them on the bike, take them home with me. And the parking ticket is the last I wanted to see. So I got out to the regular street, and I found this cat, and I found his home, where his motorcycle sitting there all alone in the dark of night on my own 2 wheels. Up to his cat's parking place, I steal it. I took the ticket, slipping onto his bike, and I ride away real quiet like. Now I know that guy, he may not pay, but I hope to this very day he's thinking to himself, I wonder where that parking ticket came from. I swear I stumbled on some other guy's motorcycle. I guess I better pay it, because I think God would like me to tell myself that I'm being free with my space and my parking fee. So I gotta tell myself I think he's crazy. He's gonna pay that parking ticket. No ways he's gonna pay that parking ticket. No ways he's gonna pay that parking ticket. No way.
What's a situation you might find yourself in where you wouldn't feel free to express yourself or what's really on your mind? In the dentist's office. Thank you.
But I've never had a lady put her hands in my mouth.
John, it's cool. We've been friends for how many years now? Yeah, 15. Just because I'm a dentist, or a dentist as it turns out, doesn't make any difference in our relationship. I graduated at the top of our class. even the score. Well, you know, I could just spray a little chloroseptic in your mouth. That kind of knows. Ice cold chloroseptic.
I thought Ivy full of morphine.
Well, I was just, I was thinking about you, of course, too, because I wouldn't want to have an involuntary spasm and chew on your fingers, clamp down or anything, because that can happen.
Look at the ceiling. See the blood spatters? It's okay. I don't bite. I'll put a bite block right in here that there's no way you can bite me. Clench your mouth open
I'm
wide.
just going to chain my mouth up.
Like the two hands in.
A bite block? Do you need a bite block for any reason?
Just to keep your mouth open. You might be rabid.
What if I drool? What is
Besides, then you'll probably drool and I can laugh.
I was thinking that if, you wanted me to tell you things how it felt as it was going on, the block might be in the way and I wouldn't be able to communicate clearly with you.
Cramp my style?
I'll just say state secrets and give me enough drugs.
Really, this is nothing. You have a little well, a medium-sized cavity. Well, it's as big as the Grand Canyon. I really think that this will be over with in just I forgot the cut. Oh, the cut.
It's the
Well, get rotten. You're going to pick your teeth like that. That one, you pick that one out. That one, you pick that one.
Clearly, I'm comfortable in here now.
You don't understand. I'm a win.
That's delicious. Whoops. Hey, John.
I don't think I have any anymore.
Okay, folks, it's story time. That's right. Before bedtime, I'm going to tell you a story. It's part of the great oral tradition of man to tell stories. Before videos and all that other stuff that we used to entertain us, we told each other stories. So we're going to, as a group, tell you a story that has not ever been told before, and we're going to pass it from player to player, much like you saw earlier on with the conducted piece. In this case, though, you're going to have input into the story because we might make some mistakes. Yes, hard to believe, we might make some mistakes. One of those mistakes might be an overly long pause. Like if you're trying to think of what to say next. That's a mistake. The other one is an unnecessary repetition of a word. If you hear two words used one after the other that are unnecessary, like then, that's another mistake. The other one is an error in grammar, which we all recognize, I'm sure. And if you hear one of these three errors, you, as the American voter, you don't have much power these days, but you do have power right now, and that is to yell the magic word zap, which will take the offending player out of the story. Okay, and then we'll continue. So we need to practice our zaposity, like coin phrase. So when I count to three, I want us all to yell a blood-curdling, thrilling zap. Are you ready? Okay, three of you are ready. All right, here we go. Ready? On your mark, get set, go! Thank you very much. Democratic process is done. All right, so you see, we want the players on stage, and we'll get a suggestion for our story. What is the last thing on your mind? What? Word. Thank you very much. And let's see, something that gives you a great amount of pleasure. Ice cream, thank you very much. And just for the heck of it, can I have a literary style? No.
Excellent. Yes.
There you go.
Like a novel.
Okay. Ice cream work as novel.
Julia tipped the brim of her hat back ever so slightly as the noonday sun caused a trickle of sweat to cascade
Down her brow. She had feared for many an hour now that Sam would
Leave her there and never return. The sun shone hot. It looked like yellow sherbet, and it made her start to salivate. Gently at first, and then increasingly.
it ran down her chin. It was such a disgusting habit, but since a child,
She had salivated at the sound of a bell or the sight of the sun.
It looked like
yellow sherbet.
Julia stared into the middle distance, her eyes
starting to glaze over. And there it was, as she fixed her eyes on it. Yes,
A carriage. It appeared as a small image on the horizon.
coming through the shivering heat waves on the toll road.
and there was this small bell sound that enticed her. She got closer and closer. Surely truck, disguised as a carriage in order to attract women with romantic fantasies, of which
He had many. He practiced.
if all day long, stopping in front of
Each house and man.
Manifesting itself in a large testosterone overdose. And it was a novel.
All right.
And
Large testosterone overdose.
Overdose. Which he was familiar with because he was
sitting there, all male. Yes, Herbert was all male. As he sat there,
On the little seat of the ice cream carriage, sweating.
he thought, I hate this job. I'd like to do
everything I can to any woman,
who comes near me because I don't want to work.
and that's painful. So, Alright, I'm following along. Alright, there we go. Because that was painful.
Herbert's jockey shorts were riding up something terrible on the hot day sun as he pedaled the shirt.
Bert truck right up to Julia. Julia saw him. Her eyes took in that man
The glow as his white ice cream suit reflected.
tinted the sun. Her limpid
Eyes were narrowed to pinpricks as the intense
nation shrunk them down. Yet she could tell that he was selling ice cream. I have
tiny rainbow pop, Julia said. Her perfect pearl
lips shaping those words that she said. Herbert couldn't take his eyes off of her, and suddenly his job
seemed meaningless as he concentrated
traded on her lips
the tiny bead
of sweat that rolled across the top of her little lip,
and trickled into the corner of
her shirt. It was a trick step by her face, her form, and this little bead of sweat. It matched the ones on
his décolletage, for he wore his shirt open to the navel. His manly chest,
heaving in the sun. Julia looked
askance. Herbert saw her look. He reached
into the back of his cart and pulled out a little rainbow pop for Julia. Here you are, no charge.
He brushed his curly black locks back from the sweat.
Deep brow, said no other words, but took her by the hand,
And put her upon.
the seat next to him. They rode off into the sunset, just as Sam, her old boyfriend,
Came back with the snow cones.
Sam looked, but Julia was
Gone. His heart turned to ice, just like the
snow cone dripping down his wrist. He was sweating too, and he loved his job, so he took this
wedding ice cream cones that looked like snow cones.
and threw them on the sidewalk.
Curse you! Puh! He spat upon them as they melted
Into the cracks of the sidewalk, and then he stomped
off into the
the deepening
gloom of the...
Sam!
We're almost there! The story isn't over, sir.
into the
Deepening gloom of the August sunset. Listening for
any kind of sound to encourage
Jim. In fact, he heard the
little bell.
distance. Sarah's ice
Cream melted. Sarah was the young
woman who had another ice cream route in the block. Sam,
went to that block hoping
to catch a glimpse of
Sarah
in her ice
cream truck.
but alas, all he saw was
The sun going down over his shop where he needed to be.
charge his batteries. It had been a long
Sorrowful day for Sam.
and the tiny wrapper of an escape
Oh, pie. Accepted her as a
symbol of his despair. The sunset. The end.
I used to love that story as a kid. Did you? Anyway, that's what we need for this is a simple activity for, I believe, 2 men and a woman, and it is non-sexual. A simple activity. What?
Bicycle riding.
Bicycle riding, of course. Thank you, bicycle riding.
Help! It's broken!
Well, here's the problem.
Oh!
Excuse me, is it too late for the Tour de France? Perhaps it is.
I think you're in the wrong country.
Oh, man.
Hurry! A simple scene. Yeah, a simple scene. So much subtlety. So much emphasis on the little fine details. You doubt me? Well, let's just see it again to be sure. Please, let's show this to them again. You'll see what I mean. I just want to. Same scene. We don't want to do this, but the same scene again.
Oh, it's broken!
Well, here's the problem.
Oh!
Excuse me, but is this the Tour de France? Perhaps it is not.
You're in the wrong country.
Freeze. See what I mean? What is it? It's just, okay, maybe there are better ways to do it. Maybe there are other ways to do it. Maybe other directors would have done it differently. For instance, like if you know, John Wayne was in this thing, what would it look like? A Western with John Wayne. Let's see if that's even.
Oh, shucks! It's broken!
Here's the problem.
Oh!
Excuse me, madam. Is this the way to the Tour de France? I can see perhaps it ain't.
You must be in the wrong country,
Not right.
Freeze. That's a Western, you're right. It has more style. What another movie style of some sort, please?
Done in China. China.
And Chinese or done in China.